Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand Inspired by Dreams, you can also check us out. We have new drops. There's a new drop in there right now. It's a dope hoodie. I'm not going to tell you the design, but there's always new drops dropping out. Always let you guys know here first. So go to inspiredbydreams.shop, and that's dreams with 3 Z's at the end. Okay, we got a lot of things to talk about today, but I just wanted to open you guys' minds up to something new and just the overall things that's been going on. I have my overall opinions on certain things, and I have some things that I want to bring to you guys. I do also have some homework for you guys that I want you guys to check out. And it's on a guy. Okay, let me see. His name is, I want you to look up Paul Getty, and it's the Getty Curse. And just a little briefing of it before we get into today's episode. Getty was a guy that he ended up, getting millions and billions of dollars from oil, and that money generating through his family ended up, just becoming a curse throughout the family. And it was just, you can just see how things just go down the wrong path. So that's a little homework for you guys. So go check that documentary out just to open you guys up on how when people say, money can't, mess things up. But money can really be detrimental depending on the person and how they go about their life. So I just wanted to bring some homework to you guys. You guys go check that out. That's something to really check out. I checked out 2 documentaries on it so far, and it's really, it's educational just to know the things that you do today can definitely be detrimental, later on in the days you have coming. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys also. Okay, so let's just set it off today, man. I see a lot of things going on. I see, and like I always tell you guys, I hear things, and I see a few people talking about, Jay-Z not being a friend, saying that he's not friends with Diddy. And I got the questioning. I got a lot of questions for people out there to the world. And when we say, what do you believe friendship is? Friend, you can't tell if a person is a friend in the picture. Now, like we hear this all the time, so we have to really start, breaking down the things that we hear about the industry and the things that we probably thinking are perceived to be true. Okay, now we hear a lot of times in the industry, those people are not your friends. It's a business. Don't we hear that a lot? Okay, so I see a lot of people talking about, they've seen, and it's true. Jay was friends of Biggie, we can say, but when it comes to Diddy, I feel like their status is what brought them to the level of them even in this conversation. Now, not saying that, being a friend of somebody is even illegal or anything wrong with being a friend of somebody. You don't know how a person lives his life, but from what I can see, when it comes to Jay-Z's life, his friend, you don't tell somebody who's his friend. Like, I see a lot, and let's just say, I see a lot of people saying, oh, Jay, why? So you guys just answer this question. Do you want to, it feels like you almost want to see Jay-Z in a position where he is at a loss. Do you see the type of energy that's going out? Him being friends, he's not, if the man says he's not friends with him, he's not friends with him. He could be just associates. That's a thing too, you guys. Being associated with a person, being cordial in the same business, and meeting in places where there's celebration or times where the business calls for it. But when you say somebody's friend, and look, a lot of people think that I've seen so many people standing by each other. You could see pictures and pictures of people, and they're not friends. So I just wanted to get that, and I know, it might seem, because a lot of people, what you thought it was, it's not what it is. So we're coming to realize this now. And it's almost, I feel like the energy is almost like people want to see Jay-Z in this position of a loss or taking a loss because he's done well in his career. Like I told you guys, that is not the way life works. You can't, 9 out of 10 times, the person that, good morning, my peoples. 9 out of 10 times, the person that is going to be talking about somebody or wanting to see somebody in a bad position is the person with the hurt. Now, when it comes down to saying, this is friends, you don't know. In this industry, these people, it's a smoke and mirrors. You don't know who's friends or who. So you can't really point the finger and say he was friends with him. I haven't seen Diddy in any, Jay-Z's life and Beyonce's life is very private, and I feel like that is it's it worked in their favor sometimes, and then sometimes it doesn't work in their favor. When it works in their favor, it's like people don't have to know what's going on behind the scenes, so they don't have a lot to talk about. But then when it doesn't work in its favor, it's like people start making things up because they don't have anything to grasp on, and it ain't right. I see it going down every single day. Whether you knew Jay-Z from the past, you listened to his music all the way up to this point, like most of us, if that's the case, then you would know that that type of energy, he's not gonna. And what do you want him to say? He's friends now? And if he says he's friends now with Diddy, would that possibly be putting him in the position to implicate himself in these certain circumstances that's going on and happening with Diddy? Yeah? Well, why would he say he's a friend? It seems like you guys want this guy to take a loss, and I don't like it. It's bad energy, and we're not trying to spread that bad energy. That's like I told you guys. Whatever's coming to people will be coming to people. There's nothing me or you can do about it. The reason why we are seeing things so often is because social media, the cameras. Before, we never really had this social media presence where we can capture these things. But when you be able to capture these things, that's when it's easier for you to see the patterns in certain people's mistakes. Now, what I can tell you from the things that I've learned and the things that I've seen and observed on my own in the past, if somebody was like that deceiving behind the scenes and fooling people for a long time, then they will have their own journey and they'll have their own things coming to them. But if you don't see, you can't put that on somebody. And I just want people to know that you can't really do that. Whether you worked with him in the past and things might have not have went your way, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's a bad person. You know, people have their discrepancies with people. And people have to really realize you can't just throw people in the fire just because you want to see some kind of revenge off of something you feel that should happen. That is not how life works. Life works, and the reality of life is truth will always come to the top no matter what. I feel like people feel like they've been, when it comes down to, we hear these things about gatekeepers and things like that in the industry. But the truth behind it, sometimes God saves you from the things that he doesn't want to put you through. So you got to look at life. It's all about perspective. It's all about how you look at things. Don't point the finger all the time. Right now, I want to tell you guys, a lot of people are losing a lot of money on the snap of a finger. You remember I told you guys, let's talk a little money for a second and really analyze who's the rich and who's the wealthy. Now, the rich people think that having a whole bunch of businesses all over the place is going to make them money. Yeah, you might get to the top of millions of dollars, but when those businesses have little problems and you're trying to patch all of these holes with the water seeking through, you're going to eventually drown, and that leads to bankruptcy. What wealthy people do is they invest in other people's ideas, so if those things take off, they have parts of ownerships in these certain places. That's what keeps the wealth coming in. They don't have to worry about somebody complaining about or returns on the clothing brand that you put out, and not everybody's returning the clothes, and now you go bankrupt because you have to give back the clothing. We're not talking about merch. We're talking about the big stuff. You have to really see further than what people put in front of your face. It's a difference. Just because maintaining wealth is just like maintaining your health and your mental health too, because at the end of the day, it's a lot that comes with it. People don't see that. They feel like if they get a whole chunk of money that they're going to know what to do with it. Of course, you're going to know what to do with it. You're going to buy up a whole bunch of things as the money decreases, and your wealth would definitely diminish. So there's a difference in how people see things. There's a difference in people's lives, and the time in your life would state how much money you really need to survive. It's as simple as that. We've seen many of times when people say, oh, no, people, it's just because people don't have money. They talk about, people are billionaires have. No, there's a certain point when you reach there, how you reach there, how you get there, how you made it, how you maintained it. Those are all the things that's going to, in time, see how you keep it, how it affects your family, how people look at you, how it affected how people's, their description or how they perceive you. How you go out there, how you treat people, those things are now enhanced because you have more eyes on you. That's the difference. That's how people crash, by having too much and not knowing how to handle it, as well as themselves. There's nothing wrong with having a whole bunch of money and and helping a whole bunch of people, or even just being good to a whole bunch of people. You shouldn't have any karma or anything coming to you, but it's how you got the money. Did you step on him to do it? Did you block him? Did you do this? Those are the things that usually catches up to you. It's really none of our business. It's very personal. Karma is very personal in these times. We got to see what we're dealing with, and people are going through these same situations. Right now, we're seeing some of the biggest celebrities, some of the biggest stars money being pulled away, because it's not really that they earned that money. It's that people put that money almost in there to add into the pot or their piece of ownership, just in case they might need to maneuver something. That's how it works. You see Adele, she's facing like, she has to pay almost, I think, like 200 or something amount of millions of dollars because of some just copyright, plagiarism. Like, you have to take ownership in everything you do, because if you don't take ownership in it, somebody's going to take ownership in you. That's what's been going on. Don't let these people fool you and think that you're supposed to go out. They'll tell you, like, like how you see people making money on YouTube and they go off to all these other platforms. They're trying to gather all the money from different places. It eventually leads to failure. It's the same thing. You're accumulating more ways and chances of you losing whatever you have saved. That's the reason why when somebody's successful and they're known for something, you from that point on, you don't know what they invest in other things around it. Not get a whole bunch of other businesses. Today you're selling hoodies, next day you're selling pens, next day you're selling cars. No, that's not how it works. You don't accumulate wealth like that. You accumulate stress and karma like that, because you're in other people's playing fields, and you have to, in each one of these divisions, there's always systems put in place that makes something or someone have to step on somebody else's toes to get ahead. It's the sad thing about business. So when you have so many different entities and you're doing so many different things, it sheds this light on you, and it doesn't shed a good light on you. Everything is going to fall on you. When you have a business and you're a brand, you say you're a brand, you want to be a brand. Well, when you're a brand, you have to conduct yourself like a brand, meaning that you can't go out there and just say anything about anybody, because somebody's going to sue you and they're going to put it on your brand. So whatever your brand makes, you as a person, whatever you're selling, it's all going to be on you. This is how people are going bankrupt. They're making you guys think that you have to do a whole bunch of things to make a whole bunch of money. Meanwhile, it's really do that one thing you love, let it take off, and from that you invest in other people's dreams or what they have going on that you believe in, and now you have parts in ownership in all the things that surround you. Not give me this, give me that, and that you just sitting there with everybody's own. No, that's greed. The more you maintain, the more your wealth goes up, if your greed level goes up, the faster you're going to go. Karma's going to snatch you away. Your soul doesn't belong to you. God handles that. The way you treat people, that's an aura that goes out, man. People, it started with people saying, oh, these conspiracies, this and that, until people started really listening and understanding what people were saying. You can't tell a person that is using his power to hurt people that it's not going to come back to him. No. The reason why they don't ever see it coming, because that's the trick of the devil. It's soothing. It's soothing to put these lies in these places, in these comfortable places, in a comfortable mindset that's numb to the real facts of what's going on in front of them. It's soothing. The easier it is, the more easier it feels to do in these type of predicaments, as the easier and the quicker it is for you to jump into that grave. It's life, baby. You have to figure it out. Now, being that we have the internet, we see people figuring it out themselves and putting things together. That's how you learn. That's how you're going to learn different things than what's being presented to you on the news. That's not teaching you anything. People are living right now, they're saying on like a third grade education. It sounds funny, but when the truth kicks in, you start to think about, like, wait, where in my day, in my times, do I use this side of my education to benefit me? No, you have to pay attention to what's going on. Communication is getting people millions of dollars, but it's also taking people's lives away. The more you know, the more that you put out there, the more people connect with you, they're going to understand the type of person you are. That's just how life works. So be careful of the things you put on these social media screens and how you present yourself, because life is worth more than what they're saying it is. They're putting a price tag on every little thing out here, you guys. Be careful. They'll even put a price tag on your kids. You understand? When you go, they already have a price tag on your kids of how much they think they're gonna make if they put them through this circuit, this system, get them through this, and then it crashes and the cycle, returns. Pay attention to what's going on. This is not some stuff you find in a comic book or in your favorite movie. This is some stuff people experience and have inside of their head, and certain people come together and then it's put out to the public so you can break it down yourself and live a better day of understanding what's happening in front of you. You see them drones in the air? Those drones, they knew they couldn't tell us a lie, because after a while, you see how big, the bigger the drone, the more professional the controller of that drone would have to be. You're not gonna see a little kid flying a drone the size of a school bus, right? So they up to something. They could be up to good or up to bad. They don't want to tell us. But with social media, it makes it hard for people to keep secrets. You understand? So that's how it leaks out. That's how things are going. It's nothing to be scared about. It's something to be aware that there's something else greater than you. Only power makes a person feel like they're the only one, they're the biggest, the strongest, the toughest. It's the people that don't understand and try to figure things out are usually the ones that end up living the longer lives, because their journey is to unfold what's happening. The other people, they still suck in their power. When it hit them, they don't even know how to get up. They don't know how to get up. Listen to me. Don't, like, you watching all this media and stuff. Media is taking the biggest hit in the world it's ever taken. Listen to your boy. Everybody investing in media right now is taking a hit. And you would think with all this streaming, no, streaming and all that stuff, that messed things up. It scattered things out. It made the money feel like you don't know where it's going. Who's getting it? So now they're nervous, because they see you going somewhere else to get something better. You see how it works? Sometimes the mistakes you make end up helping somebody else to break what's been going on for a cycle for years and years and years and years. That's why I tell you guys, go check out the Getty curse. You won't want the billions if you don't have billionaire mindset, or even know how to maintain that. Trust me. The man started getting scared of flying. The first time he flew, they said the thunder hit the plane. He got scared, it landed, he never flew again. Everywhere he go, people, because of his money, treated him different. He started sleeping around with different females and having babies from different women. So when he passed away, the kids ended up getting cursed because they didn't know who to divide the money to. They didn't know who he really loved. So him having all these kids, now they get into this divide of, the curse started kicking in on everybody. Everybody started passing away, things started happening. And it's all because of the choices he made in the beginning. See, sometimes the things that you feel like, the things you're going to hide and do in the secret stuff that you're doing comes out later on, probably through your family, your kids. You don't want that. You got to be very protective of what's going to happen tomorrow. Forget about what happened in the past or yesterday. That stuff, it's yesterday. You got to keep going. That's how life works. And I see a lot of celebrities falling victim to this same nonsense. A lot of fake marriages. It sounds crazy, a lot of fake marriages. They don't want to tell each other it's just sex, so they try to stick together for the public, make it look like it's something that it's not. Then they go on some time and now they fighting for some money, some big money they fighting for now, and really the money ain't really gonna solve anything. It's crazy. You see Halle Berry? Beautiful. Bad relationship. How could you think about it? Just think about the mistakes that people are making. They're putting these things that they feel that's the value in front of what they really deem and love. And that's how they get lost. I see people they're going back and forth with the Remy. They don't know the Remy and Papoose, who's this or who's that. The truth is, man, this thing was all messed up from social media, man. Too many people looking into too many people business and things just happening. just the type of man that gets respect in these times over the type of man that got respect in those times. A lot of things was happening. A lot of things was switching the dynamic between women making more money than the fellas. A lot of things was happening. The dynamics was switching, and all people could say is, this is what it is. No, there's a lot of things that go into what makes people think what they think. Trust me, there's more things out here to tell you to divide people than there is to bring people together. It's easier to go that way. It's easier to go that way. And I'm not just saying that every relationship works, but what's going on here? It seems like none of these relationships are working. And it has a little bit of greed attached to each and every one of them. A little, just because I did this, I can get that. I'm going to do it. Sometimes that is the trick in it. Having it and knowing to do it, and just feeling, sometimes that blinds you with saying, you shouldn't do it. It could be blinding. Things happen out here, man. That's all I'm saying. Things happen. And it's and the way things are looking in these times, it's happening so fast. Like rappers getting thrown in jail, and they're just giving them little, now when we throw a rapper a little 3 years, it feel like it's nothing. 3 years? 3 years of your life outside of the thing that you was put on here to do, that you love doing, and now you're gonna try to be put in a prison or somewhere where you have to maintain your mindset and then come back out to try to gather all this again. That the attention is real, baby. That stuff kills you. Don't you know people run from that after a while? They feel the world is so closed in, you can't do nothing on your own without somebody peeking in or having an opinion on the things that you do. You think that's comfortable? Yeah, you're going to feel like it's comfortable because you don't have it now. And then when you get in it, you only want to take the money from it and you don't want the attention no more. Whether that don't come in the package, it's a 2 package. It comes all together. It's crazy, man. I don't, real fact. I read an article. I just wanted to bring this to you guys out of the blue. It was an actor in the movie Boys in the Hood. For the people that just say, it's just music, and in actors this don't happen. It happens. It happens. There was an actor, the guy that shot Ricky in the back. I believe. See, he ended up taking that movie role of being a gangster. And regardless if he was a street guy, and he jumped into the movies and he became an actor, he should have left it there. But he ended up taking on that same persona and using it in his real life, and it ended up not working his way. So actors and things like that, they fall into character too, and sometimes that can hurt them and their family because they're perceived in a picture or a movie as this perfect person. They go home to their wife, and their wife is like, damn, I want to marry the person that's in that movie. You're here? So you got to understand, it happens all the time. How people take you, it has to be clearer. You have to make sure that how you present yourself is a lot clearer. On another side note, shouts out to Sexy Red and shouts out to Glorilla on the Double XL, that interview. I did get a chance to see it. It was really, really dope. And yeah, man, for the young folks coming up, that's the part that makes me smile with hip hop, that the ladies are gathering more attention. The ladies are they taking a stronger hold in hip hop nowadays than it once was in the past. And sometimes, I can't say every song, but I respect that fact, and I'm hoping the best for all the female MCs, because we need you guys in there too. We need your perspectives. We need those conversations, those songs too. Don't make it about just getting at the fellas. You guys can uplift fellas too. Not every man I understand you saying, not the man, some of the people that you encountered, it might have been in the past, might have this and that, but at the end of the day, not every man is the same. So I'm hoping to see some new perspectives coming out of the ladies, being that y'all got the forefront. Take it, run with it, don't misuse it, do it for the love of hip hop. Don't just tear down people all the time, but also tell people the type of man and the people that y'all want to see. Yeah, and just take control. If you're gonna take the wheel and take us on a good ride. Don't have people, because you guys have a lot more ears, a lot more fellas listening to the female music. In the past, it wasn't like that. It was very hard to get for the ladies to get this type of listen. So now that they got their attention, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, and just hopefully that the more they progress, the more everybody progresses, it will throw some uplifting energy in their music, and that bring up some of the fellas too, so we can have a different outlook. That's it. What's so hard about that? That's it. Nobody hating on nobody. I seen something weird. I don't know. I don't want to say weird because that might come off as disrespectful. But just Megan Thee Stallion, you know, having this friction and putting like a order of protection against Tory, and he's in prison. My whole thing is, you know, I think people feel like prison and this stuff is like a fantasy. It's like people don't really understand it. Now, if that's the case where Tory is doing things outside and out in the prison and it's making you have troubles outside in your career, I don't think that would be. Tory wants to. Prison is not like a place where you sit back vacation and be like, I'm gonna mess with him from here. No, he doesn't want to be in prison. So I can't really fully say that he's just that more sounds like a lawyer or that type of work. But just to put all of that on Tory when he's going, the man is in prison. There's nowhere else you can put him, sweetheart. What do you want people to do? You got to order protection with a guy in prison. Don't you think you're taking this little thing too far? You got to have also this, you know, and I have nothing against her because she's a beautiful person, great music. I don't really have too much. She didn't put anything too much bad to say or anything we can grasp on to say she did this or that. But all I could say is, you know, you got to really understand it takes two. It takes two. You was messing with the man. You didn't really want. You wasn't all the way truthful. We realize, and you know things happen. Thank God you're still here. A lesson was learned. He's paying for the lesson. And yo, what do you want him to do in there? Hang him and put him in cuffs while he's in? Come on, you think about it. Now you have to start working on yourself and how you intake stuff and how people are seeing you and perceiving you. If that's affecting you, that's a problem you have within yourself. Ain't nobody gonna run up on you, girl. Don't be scared about these people, man. Ain't nobody gonna run up on you. Nobody wanna do time like they'll know they'll be in jail just like him. So what you intake and how it affects you, that all is up to you, and that's on you. If I see something I don't like and I keep watching it and watching it and watching it and it's hurting me, whose fault is that? You got so many things to watch and so many other things to listen to. You got to know how to move and exonerate your energy somewhere else and move it in different places where it's needed. I wouldn't even let no social media, nothing. No, I refuse. I wouldn't. You'll be surprised. I don't like just. You really have to keep me watching you, because a lot of times in these times I don't want half of this stuff. I don't want to watch. If it's something I could just look at the title like, oh, this is. You already know what it's going to be about. It's either somebody's watching somebody's, or somebody's over here telling lies on something. Come on now, I don't got time for all of that. Come on now. Smart enough to know that in these times, what you say and do on social media is detrimental to all your money in the future. All of it, every single bit. You like putting money up to your ear? Keep it up there. Don't put it on social media and you'll have it there for a longer time. I tell you that. Keep that at home. What else we got? There's let me see here. I seen something else too that was kind of crazy on Diddy. You know, like, all I gotta say with the Diddy up until this point, they better have the right evidence on that man. Because if they don't have the evidence, man, don't look nowhere over here, nowhere at all. Because there's a lot of nonsense going on that I can't. What's going on? When are y'all going? That's the reason. I don't know. The reason I feel like the reason it's pushed all the way to that point is do y'all have this stuff? Do you have the tapes? Because there's rumors. I see there's rumors, but I don't understand how there's rumors about celebrities wanting to buy the tape. What is this, like a Netflix sex flicks? What is this? Why would unless the only reason I can see some, and it doesn't say if there's more than one celebrity on the tape. If one celebrity buys it doesn't say that they're trying to hide it from everybody else, because somebody else can buy it as well. So what are you trying to buy this for, your enjoyment? Are you trying to buy it to see who else was on it? What is the bidding about behind the scenes? I don't know about that rumor. I don't know. Don't take that with a grain of salt, you guys. bidding on some video. What video? We haven't even seen a clip or still or anything on any videos. What video are you talking about? The only video we saw was Cassie. That's what we saw. Everything else about celebrities doing the bid. How is celebrities bidding on something and at the same time they running from all these allegations? What are you talking about? Like, what's going on? Who's the person that's knowing all of this? Because this sounds like lawyer work. Things that's planted in certain situations, paid for news to throw people off of what's really supposed to be going on. Pay attention to what people are doing, man. Because people are paid millions and millions of dollars to fool you. They've been doing it all this time. Don't have this time around. They're gonna be wasting their money. Trust me. Oh, another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. There was an NBA star. He used to play on Magic. His name is Janis Timma. He was found passed in Moscow. Something to look into. That was just weird. And I also heard there was another, I was trying to look up the story. I believe it was like 4 people they have froze to death. I don't know if they were former NBA or Olympics players or something like that. I've heard. I'm going to bring that story back. I'm going to do more research on that. I'm going to look it up and then I'll bring the full story of that. But I don't have the full story, so I don't want to just bring it yet. But I know it sounds interesting and crazy, but yeah, this is something that it's happening, man. Oh, wait, hold on. Damn, it's deep too. Because they found his phone and there was reports his wife was on. I'm gonna bring that story to you guys. So if you guys are not new to this channel right now, make sure y'all subscribe. I'm gonna drop that story. I'm not gonna do it live, but I'm gonna put that story up. Blah blah blah. Oh, that's cool. Oh man, with a name like Mob Type, that's expected. I'm pretty sure with Mob Type, you're probably not even in the mob. Look at you. What? And this is the reason. It's kind of like people put like names on themselves. Even up to your name, that choosing a name says a lot about you. Now I'm pretty sure. I ain't even gonna bother. Okay, so Daddy Yankee, he's facing $100 million lawsuit against his estranged wife. And I'm hearing that she took out the money. Like, you gotta be careful, man. People have more hands in your pocket than you do. You only got 2. Remember, there's hands coming from everywhere. Them hands in your pocket, your back pocket, they're behind. They're all over the place. The more money you get, the more people gonna want to take from you. His own shorty taking out, how much is that? She took the bag. And don't y'all see nowadays, oh, salute to my boy Andy Appleseed, y'all already know. But don't y'all see nowadays, people use words so lightly on social media and think that they're not gonna get themselves in trouble. Like when people say, oh, nah, he put a bag on his head. Oh, that's murder for hire to them people. That's fed time for them people. You talking all of this, put a bag here, you think them people don't know what that is? And people use their words so loosely, and then when it turns and reverses on them, and they're like, oh, this is a murder for hire, and you're in positions like Lil Durk and these guys, now you can't find yourself out. Don't think another rap could get you out, or president gonna get you out, or this guy's gonna get you out. Look, man, these are all things that, to get them out of what they got going, this ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't bet on it. Don't bet on it. You see what happened to Ray Fredman? Yeah, he came out, he made it to the halfway house. God bless him, he made it to that far. Now, some of the street guys will say, you're a stand-up guy, he ain't snitch, he ain't do this and that. But that's not real. Let's go to the life part about it. Let's go beyond what he did in the streets. Let's go beyond all of this stuff. Let's take it to the human side of it. That man did all that time in prison. All the stuff that he took in from prison, whether he had a strong mindset, the food he encountered, all of it, and when he on his day in the halfway house, almost on his way out, he passes away. Life is something else, man. We got to be very careful of the things out here that's going on. That's why I tell you, doing this prison time, 3-4 months, could affect you for the rest of your life. You don't, it's not like back in the day when you hear guys went to prison and they fought their way out, or they came to a point where they made it out. These are new things that's going on. I mean, the food outside of the prisons could get you killed, so imagine the food inside the prison. Huh? What, y'all don't get it? They're making money off of dead people. That's the flip. Did I say something that's too much for you guys? The biggest flip, they flipping dead people. Organs. People, whatever the person has as ownership, they are, that's, you don't see what's going on, you don't get it? Don't let that stuff scare you, man. Just pay attention to what's going on and be mindful of the things you do and the money and the time and the people you put your time into. Because you can get there if you want to get there. You keep screaming. Don't you hear when people say they keep screaming for the devil and he gonna show up at your doorstep? You want to know what he looked like? You don't want to know what he looked like. You'd probably be surprised. You probably like it. Wicked people then, man. Gotta watch out for that, man. You gotta really watch out. Now you see, now I don't know what's going on, but I never seen as much. I never seen Adele in so much like problems, this and that. But now I heard like a different, like when the Diddy situation came up, I heard like these little rumors, and these are just allegedly that, you know, she knew Diddy, she was cool, and she was probably possibly on one of these situation tapes or whatever was been going on. But now we hear a whole bunch of now that her money's getting tugged from here, getting sued for this, sued for that. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. It's just not what you think. You thought it was one thing and it's another, but you can't get your mind off the first thing you thought because you don't know how to differentiate, move yourself away from that. You thought it was all about them, and I'm trying to tell you it's all about you. You're trying to say it's his fault, I'm trying to tell you it's your fault. It's like people don't understand what's going on in these times. It's no joke. It is no joke. Things are just... Keep playing though. Keep playing. The attacking murders on Durk more and more popping up that he paid for. Keep playing. People think they can fight the RICO. The biggest amount of money can't fight these cases. That's what they want. They don't be people with a low amount of money. No, it's the person that has that so much amount of money that can be possibly detrimental to the people around or whatever he got going. We got to be a little more wise, and that's the reason why. And you know, another thing, on another note, what's up with that Forbes top 50 list of rappers? What Forbes know about rappers? What Forbes know about rappers? The reason why these people come into hip hop and do all of this because they know you ain't got no structure. How Forbes telling me that they put Kendrick Lamar above Nas? You crazy? I'll ask Kendrick Lamar. Now he'll tell you that Nas he ain't past that yet. You crazy. Some of them names on there, I understand why Chief Keef was on there, because, you know, you could say he fathered the drill, and that's the influence on that spread out. It's even up to this day. Some of the people on the list are supposed to be there, but when you put person, and then you got, okay, I can see you got Jay-Z #1, but if you don't have Biggie and Nas near that, then what's that saying? That's nonsense. You crazy? And these people put it together a list like it's a joke, and the Forbes list. What's that? Was that about money? Or is it about music? Because if it's about money, I don't want to check no list. I don't care about those people money. What's up with their music? What made you feel that Jay was #1 and Nas was all the way down here, and you got all these people on here that ain't even supposed to be here on here? What's going on? What makes you think that? You guys rack up a whole bunch of numbers and put it together like, I don't even think you guys listen to the music. All y'all do is worry about the numbers. You bop to the numbers and gonna tell somebody about hip hop. And people running around, oh, Forbes list. Forbes what? They don't care about these people. They using that for promo. I never believed that stuff. That's where y'all believe the net worth and all that stuff from them people? That's where y'all was getting that stuff about the rappers from these people, like the Forbes and stuff? Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Don't tell me that, man. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, man. When I seen these people making up a hit, I said, dude, top 50 what? How would you know what the top 50 rapper? How would you know that? Now I can see if a person is scaling it and they start with like a KRS-One, and now I can see where their mind is, but they just starting here and then swinging it all over the place, man. Like, what are you, crazy? Number one, and out here in Queens, you got to put Nas somewhere up there. Yeah, you got 50 there, but Nas goes first. That's how it works. You can ask anybody in New York. Ain't nobody stupid. Don't let these people put together this funny list, man. These people be putting together some funny stuff. They don't know nothing about hip hop. They think it's because of the money. These crazy people, man. They time running out, man. It's make substantial amount of music that can sit in the hearts of people. They'll tell you where you sit in hip hop. But don't just start throwing around names just because you know a few rappers' names that might have hit big and you want to scatter them about. You don't even know what this is about. And that's the reason why we're here today, because these big companies feel like they could just tag on to people. I mean, they start hitting the rappers with the deals, and after a while, they start making the deals their damn self. I heard there's an AI out there. What I told you about the AI music? What did I tell you about the AI music? People were so ready for Lil Wayne to diss Kendrick Lamar that somebody made up the damn AI song and people started listening to the damn thing. Because that's the energy they on. The thing wasn't even real. Now people, they question it. What are you questioning? It's AI. You want to question it anymore? They'll question you. You don't have to question it. They said it's AI. What do you want to question? The bars? They still want to go with it. And that's the reason why the energy in hip hop today is that's the way it is right now. What's going on? Like, don't think people don't see it. People are ready to run off of information that's not even true and just try to make it some this false reality. Get out of here with that, man. I can't, nah. Y'all crazy. Quando Rondo, seeing that man walking in to just get ready to go back into prison, it's disgusting. It's crazy. But you can't get away with things. It just come back around. But it's not easy just going to prison and thinking that your life is, you just come back and everybody celebrates you. We're not living in these times. You come back, the place might not even be the same anymore. Like, come on now, man. We got to be careful of what we're doing. They have eyes on people that they feel like they're going to get this from or take that from. Be careful of what you're doing. Stop putting your money in all this stuff. I couldn't believe it to hear. You know who I heard? And this was crazy to me because one of my favorite actors, one of all of our favorite actors, I was like, are you serious? Jim Carrey. He's selling a $30 million mansion because he's having financial woes. Now, that's not to say bankruptcy or anything. It's not to say he's like down to a dollar, but it's just, it's like, Jim Carrey? From all of the, it's just, and he got into explaining how, by the way, any of this stuff that you guys are hearing me talking about, if you guys want to read about it, right under the video, I have a description and it has the different jots and just more into detail, just giving you a little heads up on that. I always leave the information and the sources that I got it from, okay? So, yeah, Jim Carrey, that just right there, it took me somewhere, like, Jim Carrey, all of these movies, these are big movies. This is nothing small. And then he's having to sell a $30 million mansion. But he got into saying some stuff that I could understand and I could relate to. He started getting about it, saying that he just bought too much stuff. Like I always tell you guys, he just had too much stuff. You might think like, the more you buy, you have to have a place for that. When you wear it and you put it there, you wear it, you put it there, you wear it, you put it there, you buy it, it piles up. Now you're dealing with a whole bunch of stuff, and what do rich people most likely would do? Leave it there. Now you are living a life of storage. You could make, if I was a giant, the storage you have, I could make a caterpillar out of it. Just my mind going somewhere else, forget it. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You're getting too much stuff. For a person like Jim Carrey, That'll tell you right there that he found himself in a place where he's like, I don't really need. That could also mean he's in a peaceful place too. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes people look around, they're like, what's all of this? And who are these people? Oh, that's your family. That's God telling you. That's your family. That's them. Yeah, yeah. You just waking up. You're like, wow, all this stuff, and that's what happened. I couldn't believe it. So, that's an eye opener too. Jim Carrey. He did a lot of movies. Started from SNL, everything. If you don't know Jim Carrey, you must have been sleeping under a rock, or you just into bad movies, or if you look at any one of his movies, these are things you can watch over and over and over again. So I'm pretty sure that money keeps rolling in, rolling in, rolling in. But how you spend it, the things that you own, the bills that you have, all the things that you accumulated in your life, the people around you, all of those things have to be paid for. And sometimes that's the thing that runs up all of your life savings, the money that's coming in. It's not enough to just sit still. It's just enough to keep going out. So that's what that thing opened my eyes, like, wow, Jim Carrey, that's kind of crazy. But it can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. Sometimes things just happen and it goes. Time moves so fast. For me personally, I don't feel like Christmas is coming soon, but it is. It is sooner than I thought. But that's just how fast and things are moving. So. Yeah, man, it's a lot going on, and if you notice, everything that I have spoke to you about has something attached to it: money, greed. It has something like that, and you don't think that just greed just makes you an awful person. Sometimes you don't even see how greedy you're being. Like, just think, for instance, like eating. Some people eat until their stomach hurt. That's greedy eating. Or some people just eat to get a little taste. Too much of this might not be good for your body. Let me just get a little taste, a little sweet, something. Okay, I'm gonna put it down. That's discipline. So greed could come in different forms that can still throw you off the edge, and it can come sweeter than you think it is. Greed is not always, oh, you took a whole bunch of money from this family and you ran off and then the bridge blew up. No. Greed could be just, you know what? He's so greedy that he keeps buying this certain amount of chocolate because he loves this, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 or he keeps taking this pill to have sex with this girl because his greed of him want to dominate, and all of a sudden that pill goes in his bloodstream, too much of it, and boom, he's out of here. He didn't think about the money he accumulated, the family, the legacy. No, he was thinking about his brain was in his pants. Let me tell you something. Fellas, we know when we're thinking from down there, we can't see anything, man. It's just like the guy with his girlfriend. Now, the whole world told him, I don't know if that girl is, she's a little, I don't know. You made it to the Heisman Trophy, and then he's still, I'm not knocking him. He's just like, yo, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Why don't y'all go get some girls? Why don't you don't have a girl, do you? And it's that type of energy, and then it's kind of like, nah, it's not about that. I think we're more thinking with this, and we're not thinking with this. Because when you think with this, it's all feelings, and all you can see is beauty. But when you think with this, your legacy could be wiped away from somebody that doesn't appreciate your accomplishments. That's the reality of that. Some people look at it as something small, but other people look at that, that could be detrimental to my future. Think smart. The right female in your corner could take you mountains high. The wrong female in your corner could take you graveyard deep. Believe that. Remember that. From your boy, remember that. Because the same thing that can fill your heart with love could be the same thing that could fill your mind with headache and stress and make you pass because you can't handle it and can't deal with it. They know your tipping point because you gave them everything. You gave them the whole recipe on how your life is formed and what hurts you and what don't hurt you. So they have it all there. They have the blueprint. So when they want to attack those things and they start attacking you, it's going to hurt more than anything outside of that. So be careful of the people that you keep inside of your establishment that you call family. That's what it's about. When I weigh it out, I don't look at Jay as in these situations, the Jay the rapper. I just look at him like a man. I look at him like a man standing up for what he believes is right and fighting for what people say against him. You say the man did this, you say the man did that. So why you ain't got no evidence? Why you ain't take it to criminal court? Why you ain't do this? Why you ain't do that? When you hear that type of stuff start coming up, you start to realize the person that's with these allegations, they got a different agenda against people. You got to watch these people. You know how many times in the past there have been women with not enough strength to speak up and have other people in power push them to say certain things to make other people look bad. Don't you see that? You see that just happened in the Diddy case? And the case ain't even going on yet. He already got one of the singers, what's her name, Kalina, one of them singers, and he calling them up and letting them know what's this, and they getting caught for pushing out, because you can't take just almost a female's word for it just like that if they got a strong male figure power behind them telling them what they can say or what they can't say. They're going to be in trouble. And it's the same thing that make you laugh. It's the same thing that make you cry, because the same time she's standing up for that, she can move on and go her way. But don't think karma ain't coming for her for lying on somebody, holding back on somebody that hurt people like that. Don't think. You got to be very careful. Ladies, listen up. It happens to anybody, male and female. Be mindful of the people you deal with too, because you lay down in the bed with somebody. If you don't feel good with that person, why you in there? Don't go up to somebody's hotel. You know what know what men want. There's other men, there's things that men want. We all want the same things, but we want it in different ways. Some of us want it forever, put it in a relationship and just keep it going. Some of us just want it for a weekend. Know the difference. Know the difference. You see, and it's like for rappers at a, and you can't just automatically knock them and say that, it's almost like a kid in the candy store. If you're becoming a first time millionaire for the first time in your life, and you're changing your life, and at the same time you want to help people around you. Some people don't even choose to go that route. Some people just go out and take the money and run. But the ones that do trying to help people around, you got to understand that the help that you give them could be detrimental to you too. If they don't, the more you keep giving the wrong people money, the more it's more chances of you putting yourself in more trouble. Common sense will tell you. All of that people around you, you're supposed to already know who's going to get what and should be structured around you before you even get it. Because by the time you get it, it just goes. I feel the reason why some people win the lotto and lose a lot of their money is because they didn't really work for it. And it's always a good surprise. It's not saying it's a bad thing. But then there are some people that do good with it because they're already working on something. They can put it into something or work or keep things going. But when you just out of the blue, you weren't doing nothing and you get it and you just got to go. Yeah, there's most likely just how life works. It's just most possibly chances of it not all going in the right place. And with the trust that we are all working with in America right now, it's almost like a 50-50. It's like you can say and see something, but it doesn't mean that you believe it, So we're in a place where we're always going to have this tug of war between is it true or is it not? So that's what we've been dealing with, and that's been hurting us a lot because it takes away from time of getting things resolved. I think. That's what I think. I have another, let me see, I had, there was another, okay, did you guys remember, I know some of you guys will remember this story. It was a tech consultant convicted. His name is Bob Lee, and it was in the murder of the owner or founder of Cash App. If you guys remember that story, he got convicted. And there's something to be researched about, because they just put out a new law in New York now that there's a new law protecting CEOs. You guys can look this up. It was in the news. I came across this article where there's a new law drop that protecting CEOs from just because of the happening, what happened with the healthcare guy being shot from a person disgruntled or a person affected by his work. So there's a new law out there for that. And I looked at it and I thought about it. It didn't sit all the way right with me. It's kind of like, what people don't understand, what is really, to break it all the way down, we're going to see more street justice because of the mental health crisis. We're going to see a lot more people taking things in their hands and what they believe in, and more smaller groups of people will take on these situations because the law and authority is really there to protect and serve, but after the problem occurs. Like, It's not a lot of times where something's going down, and unless a cop is riding by and a shootout's about to go down, that and sometimes I've seen in certain situations, cops just keep it moving because not everybody got it in their heart to be able to do certain things, but it just goes to show you that the temperature around all of these situations leads to people thinking like you're going to be more seeing people like that school shooting, groups of people. If there was like, say, like a small group of, and I'm just saying, like, say grown Boy Scouts or something, that they get to carry weapons, or maybe they could secure the school. That little girl going up in that school to use a weapon, I don't know if she got it from home. She must have got it somewhere with that at that age. It got to be from home or one of her friends or whatever. But it would have been prevented because we only know us the best. That's how we'll see. It's gonna be. That's why. Remember, I always told you I didn't mean that in like a funny way. You don't need a bodyguard. What you need is to turn the fears that you have around and start focusing on the things. Being protective of yourself doesn't mean that you have to be eyes on the swivel. It's just knowing your surroundings, knowing what can happen, and knowing how you will take it if presented to you. Trust, that's all it's about. You see, when you see these places and everybody got guns in these places, it doesn't necessarily mean that not a lot of people are gonna get killed. Sometimes it takes away the fear from people, but the gun in the wrong hand is destructive. Now you wanted to do right. You wanted to protect your family. Now your little girl happens to find that gun, is going through some stressful situation that you didn't even pick up on. She been coming home after school, coming home with this stress, and it been building up. She has a problem going on in school, or she's feeling some way. Probably you never even know if a teacher, God forbid, slept with the little girl. And now she don't know how to handle it. She's scared to tell her folk. You don't know what's going on in the little girl mind because you ain't that connected. All you know is that you put the little books in her book bag, you fix her little snacky snacks, and she go off and she's your beautiful little daughter. But when she gets into that school now, she's no longer a daughter. She's probably somebody else's, fetish or whatever funny craziness these people got going on. Now somebody mess with your daughter and she come home now and know where you keep that thing. And now she picked that up and put that in her school bag after you put the books, and now she go back in there and she fire off at people and she drop a few of them too. It ain't like she missed her shots. She go in there as a fifth little girl and she fire off in the people, and now the world is like, oh, I can't believe it. What you can't believe? You can't believe the fact that this could have been prevented, or you can't believe the fact that a kid could shoot a gun. What is it you can't believe? Because I could believe both sides. Because what I can see is the divide in people, that not understanding that kids are people too, and they have minds, and they hurt too, and they hold stress, and you feel like, oh, it's only going to be a certain age, and by the time those kids get to a certain age, like 16, 17 years old, you want them to deal with the stress. They're on their own. Because you ain't got it together, because you didn't pick up on none of this from the beginning. So where are you leading them? So when these situations happen, people get all out of, no, you got to start realizing that from an early age, kids see things and they understand things as well. Their senses are actually stronger when they're younger. They pick up on more things than we could ever imagine, because we're already stuck in life's senses that's added on to our senses, the artificial senses that make us think things out of not what God has our senses to really pick up on. So them kids come out and they're fresh babies, and their senses are all as God has made it, and they're picking up at things. That's how they know you daddy. That's how they know you the mother. Huh? So people get lost in that now, and they lose the senses as you get older and older, and you're off to these artificial things that's telling you what's next to come, or who's that, or how to feel. And now them kids see that, and something happens, they don't know how to deal with their problems. They didn't even face them yet. So now if something crazy happens and you don't know about it, and now she's coming home with it and she's dealing with this, it could be a year or two, and she come back in that school and something like that happened. All I want to know is, baby girl, man, I wish I could have spoke to you before you walk in the door. I'd have had a good story, made a turnaround, we'd have went and got some ice cream, but you would have never went back to that school again. Because something was going on in that Christian school that we don't know about, that them people ain't going to tell us about. You don't tell me no kids is going to go run up in there. Like, you think they look on TV or look on the video game, run in there and just do that to people? No, them people been hurt. Something is going on in that school. From that time I heard that happened over there, it took all that, shut the whole school down. Something's wrong. Don't try to fool me. Don't put has no little demon. Why did that little girl do it? Who did that to her? The way she's living, her feelings inside of her doesn't just belong to her at that point. She's a little girl. She shares that with her family and the people that come in contact with her to make her feel that way. So you don't tell me how some kids is this and some kids is that. No. Them kids programming their mind because they don't know nowhere else to go. There's something going on in that school. Check it out. Look into it. Look up all the teachers. Look up all the backgrounds. Look up what's going on to make a little girl go in there and shoot up her school. This ain't regular. Pay attention. Not everything just because the crime ends up and looking like the same thing don't mean the crime started the same way. Some people, when they get killed, people crying all over the place. But some people, when they get killed, people smile and pray. Thank you, Jesus. Two different people going two different places. Hell is packed, baby. Don't let these people fool you. Hell is packed. We watching it in real time. Don't get scared of it. Don't get scared now. Don't get scared because you see your favorite celebrity or something get caught. They got to go through it. That's how life works. Don't let nobody tell you no different. If you did it, you know what you did. You don't run to us and try to fool us. You ain't fooling me. All I could do is defend you from the things that you presented, but everything else behind the scenes, I can't defend you for that nonsense. I don't know how you treat people or how you did this to that person or hurt that person or took this from somebody. All of that's the same energy that them priests and all them people that hurt kids and things like that, that's the same energy. And I told you all these people talking, I'm going to put a bag on his head, a bag and all this gangster talk. Man, that's murder for hire, man. Man, they throw you guys away more than football numbers. This is getting into race car numbers. And y'all don't see what's happening. You feel like, oh, because you see a few people go into prison and come out, that's going to be you. But they ain't tell you when they got into prison and what the things that went on in prison. They ain't going to tell you, they're going to skip all of that. And they're going to jump over and they're going to tell you they have some big man when they come out. Just to impress who? That don't even impress grown folk. I don't see, you don't impress me with that. When you do something, when you come out and you make something of yourself, now I'm like, man, his struggle is crazy. That's impressive. See, when you come from places that's aggressive and places of poverty and you make something diamond and you make a diamond out of that, that's impressive. That's what makes us who we are as a black culture, that we could take nothing and make it into something. But when we start taking stuff and then from our own people and then trying to turn it into something, you think that's going to last long? That's not going to last long. After a while, we're going to see all these malls, these kids ran the same. That's how life worked. The same malls they ran in, smashing and grabbing all the logos they could Gucci this. It's going to be the same mall that turned into a prison. That's the same prison you're going to sit in. When that mall closed down, it's going to be a prison. Yeah, destruction. Look at it again. And you're going to see yourself. You're going to see your jail cell in there. Yeah, it's going to be a prison. That's what they're turning them into. So all the smashing and grab, you're going to be looking Gucci'd up, Louis'd up in prison. And for what? Clothes? Are y'all serious? Clothes? Man, you guys look better when you do it yourself. Make your own clothes. Do something creative instead of looking at somebody and looking like somebody. Do something more creative with yourself. And you can get somewhere further than those people ever went. Trust me. You think just fashion design is easy to do and brands just blow up? Look, making $20,000, $30,000, that ain't no big money. It might sound like big money if you don't have it now, but when you get to the point, that's a ceiling. That ain't no big money. That's not big money. You know, that's just like, that's a flip. That's not big money. You got to see the ceiling before it's there, and you got to know that there's something above that, man. These people fall trapped to the same nonsense because they don't know how the structure is being. Right now, everything's up for jeopardy. The ownership that people have that they think they have in anything that has attached to do with media could be snatched away from you. Because the ownership is split up amongst so many different people around the world. So many different people got different. And on another note, I don't know if this is true, but if there's some doctors in here or some lawyers in here or people that do their research, I heard that in Russia that they are next year they're releasing like a vaccine for cancer. Them people out there smart. If that is the case, why we can't get it too? We have a lot of people. I know people that have passed from it. Come on. Let's stick together and get into that stuff instead of getting together and worrying about if they're gonna ban this platform. The same people they ban, it probably could be the same people that could help us. We don't know what's going on. Or it could be the same people turn around and get all our information and go whatever with it. We don't know. All we know, we see drones the size of school buses, and they telling us that, relax. That's why I always tell you guys, America teaches Americans how to lie. Don't you think the more these people lie, you don't think they get better at it? Of course. Now they got AI lying for them. So when the AI lies for them, it just goes to show you that their lies is going to be helped and it's going to be cleaned up even better. So now you have to be that much more smarter and sharper to know what's a lie from what's the truth. Pay attention to the people that break it down. Love you guys, man. I appreciate all of you guys, man, for tuning in. You know I always got that good energy, but it's just a lot of things I wanted to get out to you. Don't let these people fool you. The celebrity is just a promotion of what's really going on and what's next to come. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Ownership is one thing, but owning too many things is another. You will be out of here. Your money will snap that quick. That quick. Invest in the people you love. Invest in the people that think like you. Invest in the people that's doing good for people. Invest in the people that's putting their money into health and helping other people. And God is going to bless you like he always blesses me, my family, everybody, all the good people out there trying to do something. Don't try to step on somebody to get somewhere. Don't try to talk down or make lies up about somebody, because none of that stuff is going to work. In the end, you're going to be the one that's going to have to fit that bill. And it's not a good bill to fit, all right? Be good to people. Love on people, and yeah, feel good about yourself. Stay blessed. One love, your boy Mickey, and make sure you guys tune in, because I got a lot more coming. I see the subscriptions coming in. I really appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow, and with positive information, positive energy, you got to bring it to the forefront, and it ain't easy. Negative energy travel too fast for me to even catch up to that nonsense. All right, love y'all, and I'll see y'all Friday. Peace.